Remember when we were younger and we had big dreams? Our desires for our future were grand and high. We would grow up to be the greatest and have the very best. A huge mansion to call home, the fanciest cars that draw all the attention, a big, happy, healthy family, the splendid marriage to the love of our lives, a physique to die for, a strong faith to weather life's greatest test, a respected profession or business, and fame and fortune like none other. We always wanted for ourselves the best that life could offer. And what's crazy is, we actually believe that we could achieve it. But were our childish goals mere delusion? Or were there something to our madness? Chapter 1. Naivety. Every day, nearly 400,000 babies are born worldwide. That's close to 150 million births per year. Wow, that's a lot of babies, and diapers, and cleaning. But anyway, when a baby is born, they're like a blank canvas. They don't know a thing. In fact, they don't even know how to talk, how to walk, how to use the restroom properly, how to write, and the list goes on and on. All these things they must learn. They must learn it because they don't know it. They lack the knowledge and experience. It is this state that makes children incredibly naive. Naivety. Naivety refers to a lack of knowledge, experience, or informed judgment, often resulting in an overly simplistic, idealistic, or overly trusting view of people, situations, or the world. So maybe our gigantic and perfect dreams for ourselves that we longed for when we were younger were just that. Dreams, fairy tales, fantasies, and fictions that we told ourselves because we were so ignorant, so naive in thinking, that we actually thought it was possible. But were they though? Chapter 2. Pessimism. Pessimist is someone who tends to expect the worst or sees the negative side of things. Remember that bright and hopeful child, so full of a life, so trusting, so believing, so confident, yet so naive. It is that child that when faced with disappointment and broken promises becomes pessimistic. Mom and dad promise that beach visit or special outing or your favorite gift. You get excited, you get eager, you long for it, and then it never happens. Friends who you thought would be there for you end up betraying you. You thought that you would be a great soccer player, but then you got cut from the team. Family members who you thought would comfort you end up deeply offending you. You finally found someone who you actually love and think you two would go off into the sunset and live happily ever after. And then it turns out that relationship didn't last and it only ended up in heartbreak. You plan, you write vision boards, you set goals, you get motivated, you put forth effort, and it all ends up in failure and humiliation. Loved ones who you deeply cared for end up passing away unexpectedly. Very soon you begin to realize that the world is a harsh place to live in. It is filled with broken promises, disappointment, heartache, grief, and sadness, and deep misfortune. I know that pessimist gets a bad rap, but truth is, pessimism is a coping mechanism. We lower our expectations and assume it's not going to work to avoid getting hurt again. Because the last time we expected it and were eager for it, we got disappointed. The last person we trusted betrayed us. The last person we loved took advantage of us. The last person we believed lied to us. The last friends we had became our enemies. The last job we had, we got sick of it. The last time we hoped, it ended up in despair. The last time we tried, we failed. The last dream we had, it never came true. If maturity is a ladder and it went up in stages or steps, pessimism would be one step above naivety. Because pessimism, unlike naivety, acknowledges that all that glitters is not gold. And just because you want it, it doesn't mean that you would have it. But does it all end here? Chapter 3. Courage. What is courage? Well, courage is not naivety because courage is not blind, it is not ignorant, it is not without knowledge, it is not misinformed. So what is courage? Well, courage is not really pessimism because courage is not negative, it is not desponding, it is not a victim, it is not doubtful, it is not cynical, it is not gloomy. So what is courage? In the ladder of maturity, courage is above naivety. Courage is also above pessimism. It is an important stage of development that has unlocked so many doors for so many of the greatest and most successful people. But most people stay in naivety or pessimism. They are either too misguided or too cynical. But what is courage? Well, courage is a posture. It is an attitude. It is an intentional framework that acknowledges that yes, bad things do happen to good people. And yes, the likelihood of starting a business and failing is very high. And yes, they have more soldiers than us and more weapons than us. And yes, if I love, I can be betrayed. And yes, I have tried chasing my dreams and it didn't work. And yes, statistically speaking, the odds of success are not in my favor. And yes, there's a giant in front of me and he is bigger, stronger, and more experienced in war than me. And yes, I'm in the desert. And yes, I'm in a bad situation. And yes, I live in a harsh world. Now, if this was just pessimism, it would all end here. But no, while acknowledging all of the very real difficulties and challenges that is before us, courage chooses and decides not to allow those difficulties to stop it from moving forward. Again, courage is an intentional posture. It is a deliberate stance. It is a voluntary position. It is a purposeful mindset. It is a purposeful stand. Courage means you lean forward into difficulty instead of shrinking back. It means your mind is set. Even when your emotions scream, run. It means you stand tall in your spirit even when your knees are shaking. Courage, as an intentional posture, means you keep writing the book even when no one's reading it yet. You keep on training even when no one's watching you yet. You keep building and pitching and failing and learning because your soul is upright. You're not slouching in self-doubt. You're not bowing to discouragement. Your posture says, I'm still here. I'm still trying. I'm not leaving. And I'm gonna win. Courage says that yes, we are in a desert, but we can make deserts bloom. Yes, there are mountains, and the mountains are steep, but our view from the top will be glorious. Yes, school is difficult, but we are on our way to being graduates. Yes, we've been heartbroken, but love is still waiting for us, deeper and truer. Yes, the business is small, but we're building an empire. Yes, parenting is tough, but we're shaping world changes. Yes, the odds are low, but we are destined to rise, and we will rise. So tell me, why did you stop? Why did you stop dreaming? Why did you stop hoping? Why did you stop believing? Why did you stop wanting the very best for yourself and for your family? Why did you stop planning? Why did you stop strategizing and setting goals and setting out a vision for yourself? Not the small vision, not the small dream that you settled for, but the big one. The big one that you had, the grand one that gave you goosebumps, that gave you a zest for life, that kept you up all night, that you were excited to tell others, the one that filled you with enthusiasm, life, wonder, and awe. Yeah, that dream. Why did you stop dreaming it? Was it because things didn't work out? Was it because things didn't go as planned? Was it because you made mistakes? Was it because someone said it wasn't going to work? Was it because you were afraid that if you try, you would fail? Was it because you looked at the odds and you saw that the odds were not in your favor and you let doubt consume you? Was it because it was too hard? Was it because you had setbacks? Was it because you feel like you're too old, too busy, too late, and now you have children and you can't possibly stop? Whatever the reason, I'm here to tell you, go back to those dreams. Be courageous. Adopt the posture of courage. Take on the stance of hope and go chase your dreams. I am rooting for you.